Excuse me, ladies, gentlemen, and members of the LGBTQ community. Before Mr. Delaney goes on stage, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you all of the release from liability forms you all signed when you bought your tickets. That way you can't sue us if Mr. Delaney gets too intense for you and shatters your mind with reality as he sees it. Okay? So last chance to leave. If you don't want to be offended, okay. You've been warned, because no lawyer and no deity can save you from Edward Joseph Delaney.
Oh, shit!
Good evening, Gotham University. How the hell are you? Well, I talk about something tonight that we all pretty well have in common. Remember back when you were a kid? You were learning to drive. Now, naturally, none of us started to drive right away on a full motor vehicle. Very few of us started doing that anymore. But in my day, and we're talking some decades ago, you basically started off with something small. You know, it's like when you're a little kid, you start off with your little wagon, and you work your way up to your little bicycle, and so on and so forth. But the only time I had anything that constituted somewhat of a car was when I got to be 9 years old. Because for my birthday, my parents bought me all this wood and brackets and wheels, stuff like that. They picked up from the hardware store in Western Auto. And we made this go-kart. You started off with a long piece of wood this way, usually about 5 feet high, see? Got to be about 4 feet up, you drill a hole in it, and you put a bolt through that, you put another board here, see? You attach that, ran your axle through there, put your wheels on here, and that's how you're going to steal the car. You had a board here you sat on, then you had another board here, flat board across here with the axle for your rear wheels. So you could sit on this thing. And of course, there's two ways to steer the thing. You could either steer with your feet pushing in and out like this, or with a rope. Then, of course, what's the most important thing on any motor vehicle? Right. The brake. See? Now, back then, most kids' idea of putting a brake on a go-kart was just putting a piece of wood down here that you just, shove down. Now, life expectancy on your average sheet of wood is maybe 3 stops. And then when that didn't work out right, you went careening right off the go-kart and slammed your face straight into a tree and left an impression that looked not too much different than, say, a Jackson Pollock print. Yeah, so what happened was I would take the go-kart out and start riding down the hill with that, and so the neighborhood kids come along, I want to ride. Well, sure, come on, you hop on this way, you steer with your feet or you steer with your hands. Well, yeah, but if you're going too fast, I want to fall off. That's okay. You don't got to sit up on top of the thing. You can just lie down on it sled style. See? It's a great thing about aside from Christian Bale's Tumbler, the only other thing you drive sled style is your go-kart. Right down on the side. I said, look, you just push to steer this way. Okay, you got to reach back to shove the brake in. What is you gonna reach the brake? Oh, well, you hit the curb over there. You go sliding right forward, and you make your mark on that tree. So yeah, kids learn real quick. But that was the go-kart, and of course, once after I'd seen Evel Knievel jump in October 25th of '75, my dad realized jumping my bicycle wasn't enough, so he got me the lawnmower. And of course, after that, I'm living near subdivision, so I can get plenty of jobs. But you need somewhere to move your lawnmower and equipment around, so that's the go-kart came in well for that. Wasn't riding it anymore. Was using it to tow the lawnmower, the gas cans, the bags, so I could bag up leaves and whatnot. Make myself some extra bucks. And that led to the motorcycle. And what a holy terror that one got to be. I remember it was a rainy afternoon, very late winter, early spring, 1977, when my mother drove home with this 1975 YZ80. It was used. You can see some scratching and wear on it. Because my dad would tell me, you don't want a brand new bike, you're going to fall over and crash a lot. And he was right, because I had a wreck just trying to learn how to drive the bike at the Yamaha dealership. In fact, I was trying to get from first to second gear. I popped the clutch, not knowing what the hell I was doing, and had flown right off On's property over to the church next door and almost put the bike and me through an abortionist murder sign. I made a political statement before I even knew what the hell that even was. So anyway, we get the bike loaded up in the back of the car, drive it back home, and Mom was driving through this place, Cottonwood Station, where we lived in Edwardsville, Illinois. She drives down down to 29 Chris Terrace where we're living, and the neighbors are watching, and the neighbors are nervous as they see, oh my God, he really did get the damn motorcycle. He really did make enough money mowing lawns, and his dad really did match his investment, and they did buy, oh damn, that damn kid's got a motorcycle. Now, what ordinary, they wouldn't have been so terrified, but you have to remember, on the Sunday night movie, just some weeks before, they had played that George Hamilton Evel Knievel movie. Remember that? Evel Knievel had kidnapped his wife. Twice. So, here's what happens. These parents rapidly get together. They start signing off a petition. We don't want you, they come to bother my dad, on a Saturday morning. He says, we don't want your son riding that bike anywhere. We don't think you should have it. We're in fear for our daughters. My dad's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, we saw that Evel Knievel movie. He kidnapped his wife twice, and we don't want him to come kidnap our daughters. My dad's like, don't flatter yourselves, you mooks. My son's not interested in your lumpy boy-looking daughters. Hell no. Kid's never been interested in anybody his own age. No. He likes that biker chick Cyclone that lives up the street. Cyclone had just come back from a tour or two over in Vietnam, and she had this big Harley with this fiery skull on the tank that was also on her helmet. And if you want to imagine what Cyclone looks like, just imagine Sybil Danning as a redhead. That's Cyclone. So she was a lot more interesting to talk to than kids my own age were, believe me. But yeah, we had a lot of people that had some interesting stories in that town. These are the kind of people you would meet when you're mowing lawns, because you're going to meet all these different people. And they'll be out there, so they'll be out there asking you why you're working so much, and what are you saving up money for? And then finally, the bike comes home. Yes. Now, of course, it's a dirt bike, so I couldn't drive the thing around on the city streets. It didn't have directionals or mirrors, anything like that, but there was plenty of dirt road I could ride around on, the dirt fields I could ride around on, and I'd ride around on those. And had a pretty good time with that. And the good thing was, living in Edwardsville, Illinois, near so many subdivisions, there were plenty of places to get jobs to keep the machine maintained and serviced properly. Now, the only problem we had, though, is when we left Edwardsville and moved to Weston, Connecticut, because Weston, Connecticut was like, well, have you ever seen Washington Irving's Legend of Sleepy Hollow, those Sleepy Hollow movies? That's what Weston, Connecticut looks like. I mean, you're talking about a place that looks like something out of by day, it looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. By night, Sleepy Hollow. I mean, one road this way, one road that way, Then dirt roads is where your houses were up there, So a lot of people spread very, very far apart. Your nearest neighbor could be hundreds of yards away. Not many jobs to maintain a motorcycle. Yes, bloody shame, really, because that was going to get expensive. Could not afford to get enough jobs to maintain the motorcycle. And of course, my dad saw this coming. My dad was very good at forecasting anything. It could be market trends, it could be freight rates, it could be international investments, whatever. The man was this is the guy who began the state of logistics report, so everybody in the logistics community would be on the same shit of music. That was my dad. He also legislated the Motor Carrier Act of 1980, one of the last things President Carter signed into law. So, my dad was excellent at forecasting pretty much anything. You take one look at it and go, okay, kid can't make enough money working odd jobs to take care of that bike. He's going to lose the bike. Okay, let's give him something else to focus his mind on. Something else a little more interesting, because within 7 to 10 months that bike is gone, and what's the kid's going to do next? So my dad, of course, had a great remedy for that. See, in 1976, my dad, we're still living in Edwardsville, Illinois. My dad had bought a 1976 Datsun 280Z 2+2, kind of like the one right here. Unfortunately, we never really thought to take any pictures of Zayla when she first arrived. you know, but having that car around really improved our standard of living. My dad always started wearing tailored suits after he got her, and again, the most beautiful car in the whole city. Of course, when we left there and went to Connecticut, naturally, he doesn't want to try and take that car into Manhattan, you know, from Connecticut all into Manhattan every single day. The park, you've heard about the parking costs out there in Manhattan. You may spend 80 to 200 to 170 bucks a night, a day or a night in that thing. And the commuter rate was a lot cheaper, so my dad would take the train into the city every day. Well, my dad's figuring, okay, yeah, kid's gonna lose the bike. Kid needs something else. You know, something to keep him focused. Yeah, something to keep him interested. Something to keep the hell out of trouble. So here it gets to be. It's November of 1978. I'm 12 years old. Dad, you know, knocks on my bedroom door on a Sunday afternoon, because he knew exactly when to knock, because he heard me finish typing my school papers, and because my handwriting oftentimes got really smashed together, so I typed my papers out so I wouldn't make my teachers blind trying to read them. And I would, when my dad heard me pack the typewriter case away, it got to be about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He comes in there and says, "Hey son, you want to go for a drive?" "I want to go for a drive for it, Dad." I said, "Well," he says, "No, I don't mean it." He says, I don't mean I'm going to drive. I mean you're going to drive." "What, you want to drive on a go-kart, Dad?" He says, "No, drive this." He throws me the keys to his Datsun 280Z. He says, "Go out to the train station, teach you how to drive." So that was cool. So we drive down to the train station in Westport, Connecticut. And the thing about it was, a train station, well, even on a Sunday, there's not too many people there. You might have, 7 to 20 customers a whole day, so the parking lot's generally unoccupied. You can not just practice driving in tight confines, but you can also practice your parallel parking, your slanted parking, your straight up and down parking, the whole thing. So yeah, every few Sundays, every few weeks, we go out there and practice with the car a little bit. So when I finally did lose the motorcycle, I lost that in summer of 1979. Yeah, because I just couldn't keep up with the expenses on that thing. I really couldn't. I mean, I tried to fix it the best I could, but when it needs replacement parts put on there that you don't know how to get them, they take weeks to order them, and so inevitably you can't keep up maintenance. You lose the bike. You end up trading the bike in. You go to Caldor, buy yourself a black and white TV. That's something you can use all year round. Great. But what had happened was my dad would take me out there on Sundays for, ever since I was 12, on to drive the car. Now, there was a great reason he did this. See? Again, my dad was very good at forecasting. He knew there might be some time when I might have to drive the car when maybe he shouldn't. See? And because my dad had taken me to the train station that many, many times to learn how to drive his car, that is how my dad beat the 500 fists of breathalyzers at Yankee Stadium. Now here it is, 2019. Only a few people that, a few people in the barracks from 30 years ago, 2 German families, and a few people that I work with at my double shifts tonight have ever heard this story. This took place before I had my driver's, hell, it took place not just before I got my driver's, before I even had my driver's permit, right? But here's what happens. Now, when I was 15 years old, I had got this job for the summer with the Weston Public Library. See, what happened was the library was, they were concerned about running out of space because they wanted to get new books and new collections in, but they had no place to put them. That's a real quandary. So they're thinking, okay, what are we going to do? Of course, the library committee decided, okay, we'll have somebody make a print of what the library looks like now and where all the shelves are now, and then also make us a model with shelves that we can move around and figure out new arrangements for the shelving, so we can, without having to tear the floor up doing it, we can just do it on the model and figure things out there. And so that's what they did, and of course, people in Connecticut, especially those that knew me back in middle school and high school, knew that I built models of all dioramas, all kinds of things like that. They'd heard about my 8-foot-long USS Enterprise, and that, you know, and the Klingon, the Katinga class Klingon ship, they heard about all the models on my train, said, figured, oh yeah, let's give Ed the contract for that. So they called me in on the night in spring of 81, yeah. And they, you know, they tell me what they need me to do. So, you know, I go in there after I start going to the library and with a yardstick, and I'm measuring the whole library out. This took 2 or 3 weeks to measure the whole thing out on a, you know, and then graph it on a piece of paper. And then naturally, you know, I just, you know, it was my dad saw what I was doing. He says, you know what? You put that on a piece of poster board, it's gonna fall apart in a week. You know, you need something moved around easier. You know, you need Mylar. I said, Dad, Mylar, man. Yeah, but you know, Dad, they make advertising stuff with that. They make readouts on, you know, the Enterprise Bridge with that. I don't know, Mylar. I don't know work on Mylar, Dad. No problem. Art Ehrlich does. So my dad takes me down to down to where he works, and that's where I spent a lot of my summers. You know, riding the commuter rail with Dad into New York City, and I would, you know, make this big Mylar print of the library with use electroset tape. Put it all out there, and it took weeks. You know, making this arrangement and putting out all the shelves, different color-coded shelves for different sizes and whatnot, you know, that kind of thing like that. But you know, here if I finally get the thing done, it's a couple of months later. A Saturday evening, you know, my dad gets finished up doing his work, comes into the where I am at the graphic representations lab, and see me putting the last bit of electroset tape down, and you know, just like all the architects do, I put my name down, the scale, so on and so forth, down on the lower right there. You all done? I said, yes, certainly am, Dad. It's good. Tell you what, I don't feel like going home right away. Want to go to the ball game? Outstanding. Now, of course, you're in New York. Yeah, you could eat at any one of many restaurants. But again, you're in New York. So, you know, and you don't want to spend a lot of money. You sure don't want to stand in line. You get some Sovereign's hot dogs. Yeah, you get some Sovereign's hot dogs. You go to Yankee Stadium. Now, you know, back in 1981, you get a bleacher seat for a couple of bucks, right? Get into a bleacher seat. Now, of course, anybody who would have been around back then, remember there were a lot of fights that happened at Yankee Stadium because people had drank a little too much and they got a little too damn raucous, and then, yeah, they had some fights. So what happens is, at the beginning, before the first inning, this announcer says, due to certain outbursts of aggression, customers will be limited to just 2 beers. But that's like, what, 2 beers, what, per inning? I deal with that. So, you know, what happens is Dad would go to different, you would walk all the way, there's 2 beers from one place, and then they said, no, you've already had your 2 beers. So Dad would go down to another one of the stands, you know, another part of the park, another 2 beers from then. You know, hours later, another 2 beers from then. Okay, this was like a 10 or 11 inning game. Dad had too many beers. So we come outside, and it's a sea of blue. Oh yeah. They had, apparently there was an accident or two less than an hour ago when Patriots left early with, you know, with a blood alcohol level that would knock over a bull elephant. And of course, not being able to drive too well, their cars made like bull elephants and took out, well, 4 or 5 other parked cars, maybe somebody's flower shop, and hell forbid they ran over a Sovereign stand. That's a stoning offense in Manhattan. But anyway, there were several roads you could not get back out of because they're all blocked off with traffic because the ambulances are trying to get those casualties out of there. So, you know, say this, the baseball stadium is surrounded in blue. With, you know, there the cops are, the 500 fists of breathalyzers, and they're near the parking lots, and they're near the parking garage, and they're going to breathalyze just about anybody they can get a hold of coming in and out of there out of that game. So, my dad realized, oh shit, he reaches into his pocket, nonchalantly hands me the keys, you drive. I'm 15, I didn't even have a driver's permit yet. Yes, I had been driving with my dad's Datsun 280Z for 3 years. That was true, yes. But no. So that happens, we get up to the parking garage, and I get in the car, and, you know, he says, don't worry about it. There's traffic out there. You shouldn't have to drive too fast, just leave in the park. Later on you will. When, Dad? You'll know. So I get in the car, drive down, pay for the parking, get to the get there, and you know, God reaches in with a breathalyzer. Now, the thing was, at 15, I looked like I was maybe 20, 24, whatever. When I was, 15, I looked older than my age. This is kind of odd because I'm 53 now. Look, no crow's feet, no blotched out skin. Some people think I'm in my mid to late 30s. No, I'm 53, damn it. So I was always age defying. So, the guy who was there, oh, okay. Guy just had Coca-Cola, let's let him through. Glide on through. So we can't go down the ways out we usually take. We got to go down through the South Bronx. Yeah. So what happens is we go down there and you get clear of the ballpark, you go further down the South Bronx. Now what happens is, all of a sudden, there's no street lights, debris all over the road, a lot of burned out cars, a lot of falling down looking buildings, a lot of lurkers moving about. And my dad's like, "What the hell are you doing?" "Driving, Dad." "Speed the hell up, Dad." That busted up sign with the holes in it says 35. Speed the hell up. And he goes, "All right." Put my foot down. "Why are we speeding up, Dad?" "Be a fucking shot at son, okay? So speed the hell up." So I'm stopping the pedal down. "How fast we go, Dad? You get this damn thing up to warp 8 for Christ's sakes, So he goes with a haul ass 85 miles an hour through the street, and then he reaches over and switches off the headlights. "What the hell did you switch off the headlights for, Dad?" I says, "Headlights are a visible target. This cold darkness out here without a moon and without no street lights, we're invisible." "Yeah, but Dad, with the lights off and the potholes and the debris, how am I supposed to see?" "Use the force, no nuts." Yeah. Okay, so here I am hauling ass 80-something miles an hour. My dad starts trying to tear this up, because someday I'm hoping it's going to be my car to get out of here alive. Hauling ass through here, through the thing. It takes Wolfen, with Jeffrey Hines, and Edward James Olmo. Yeah, some of that was shot with Albert Finney in the South Bronx, okay? That's pretty much what it looked like back then. So we're hauling ass, zigzagging out of the streets, trying to tear in anything. Trying to get our way down where we can get to one of the many bridges out. And, finally we start to get to an area where there's some street lights and, nothing, and you hear this ting-ting-ting, bouncing off the other buildings and the cars, the streets, all around you. And you're getting what they call civilization. Okay, yeah. So we get out there, start slowing down at 35, get back out, get over the bridge, head back to Connecticut. And I'm driving along, and this is great, man. My dad's like, "All right, one thing. Don't you ever tell your mother this happened. Until I've been in the goddamn ground these 10 fucking years, don't tell your mother this ever happened. She'll pull her hair out, all kinds of crap. Or worse. If she finds out about it, she won't let you have your goddamn driver's license, all right? It's not a fucking thing. Nobody has to know a goddamn thing, all right?" We make it back to Connecticut. And as I said, it's, you had one road up this way, one lane back this way, get up to into the dirt road, he says, "Stop here." So I said, "Okay, Dad." He says, "Okay, you go out and get the mail. I'm gonna get in the driver's seat. I'm gonna drive up the dirt road. That way your mother's none the wiser." So it worked, yeah. Got the mail. "Hey, my latest Starlog magazine. All right. Yeah, that could be cool." And then, so what happens is he get in the car, Dad drives up the country road, boom, boom, gets up into the driveway, and nobody was any of the wiser. As far as anybody knew, Dad had driven all the way back to Dad had driven to into Manhattan. He didn't, he got back out again. Nobody ever knew, but it was a hell of a learning experience. I'm telling you. It's amazing how much of what kind of driving experiences you can learn in a large city like Manhattan. I got to tell you, and not just driving through urban deserts, but also city driving as well, because that too has its own little misadventures, believe me. It was early spring of 1982 when I got my driver's license. And so now I'm able to drive every morning I would drive my dad to the commuter rail station, and then drive to Weston High School. And That was great because what happened was it was right around the time so many great summer movies were coming out, or spring even. Star Trek To the Wrath of God had come out, and it was everybody remembers when that movie came out. But shortly after that, E.T. came out. Now what ends up happening was, of course, my brother is a real big Spielberg fan, and what happened was E.T. comes out. And we drive down to go see it in Westport, Connecticut. Well, of course, we got a problem. For one thing, the line stretches out of the movie theater around the block this way and around the block up that way. Now, that's not so much a problem for me, but my brother's just getting over a cold. And it was crashing down raining. All these people are soaked to the skin. They could be sitting there 2, 4, 6 hours trying to get into this movie. They'll have pneumonia. So, and my brother's like, we going to see this movie? I said, what, are you kidding? You'll get sick in 5 minutes. I want to see a movie. Yeah. Yeah. You do. You want to see a movie, and I don't believe in the no-win scenario. So then my brother gets the idea. Right, Sluggo. I get it. I don't like to lose. So, of course, here it is crashing down rain. We make best speed out of Westport up to Orange, Connecticut. We had this big theater up there, huge screens. And we're hauling ass up there. And the thing of it is, we're hauling ass up there. And you can't even see the end of the car. Datsun 280Z has a very long nose, right? Very long nose. If you can't even see the end of the car because of all the rain, that's a hell of a ride up there, but we're going to get up there anyway. We hauled up there, got to go see that movie. That was great. And then, of course, we saw E.T. the following week. But the great thing, okay, movies is fine. Being able to go to Walmart's grocery store and get yourself a couple of bucks to keep the car fed and maintained, that was fine. But the real fun stuff was being able to drive into Manhattan to go see the Star Trek conventions, right? So you go there on a Saturday morning, it's like, you realize the convention over at 10. So you want to be down there sometime around 8. So you get out there, and of course, it's Manhattan. Of course, it's an accident. So, the cop is telling you, is directing everybody away from the street. Everybody over here. Mount the curb. He wants everybody to actually drive up on the curb to get out of the way. Great learning experiences in Manhattan, New York. Yeah, you mount the curb, you ride away a while. All the people with the kiosks are pull themselves out of the way, so you'll get hit by all these cars coming through on the curb to make way for the ambulance coming in. And then you finally get there and get to the convention, and I'm dressed in my red Admiral Kirk uniform. My brother's always dressed as a Klingon. And great times back then with those cars. Now, of course, the thing of it is, we have to remember we were living in Weston, Connecticut, right? So you're living in a place where there's a lot of salt in the air. You got a problem with that. You got salt in the air, you're going to have, any car is going to rust. It doesn't matter whether it's a $6,000 Japanese car or a $60,000 Mercedes, the poor thing's inevitably going to rust. It's a shame, but it's going to happen. So yeah, you had rust on your you ended up getting a hole rusted to the bottom this big, like Flintstone, so you can put your feet through the damn thing, just in front of the back seat. Then the rocker panels were going, and the fenders were next. So yeah, inevitably you were going to lose that car, and you were getting ready to leave Connecticut anyway and move to Cleveland, Ohio. Oh no! But it didn't make any sense to me. As my parents saw it, there was no sense trying to save. My parents saying, "Look, you can spend every dollar you got trying to save that car. It's not going to happen." So they ended up having to lose that car, and then of course, that was damn. You can lose your first girlfriend a lot easier. You can lose your first high performance car. Yeah, so that was tragic. Damn. So as soon as I got to Cleveland, Ohio, I got myself another dead end job at a grocery store, and then I got myself a black and yellow Datsun 280Z. This one wasn't. This was had a 5-speed manual, had the black maneuver shields on the back, and yeah, you see me right there. I'm in my that was the my Western football jacket. Yeah, so that's one of the few shots we have of Dorinda, my black and yellow 280Z, And I had her for a few years. And inevitably, what happened was a carjacker came after her, and I had to dish him out. And of course, aside from it, that was back in, that was all the way down. That was in early '86. That's right. I showed up to my birthday. I was turning 20, and I'd taken him down and had to. And then of course I get home and had to clean myself up, clean the car up after I smacked his head in the door. And naturally, my mother sees me cleaning the blood off the car. She calls the cops, and the cop comes and takes a statement, and then she asks the cop, "So, well, officer, somebody came after your car. What'd you do?" The cop looks at my dad, my mother, with a deadpan look. "I'd shoot him." Like, "I think I should have stayed out, officer. I want you to get my son to give up the car or something and do something like this. Oh, criminy, She wasn't crazy about that, So of course, it being Cleveland, there weren't many jobs there. College wasn't going the right way, so I ended up, selling that car. Because I was thinking, I'm not going to stay here in Cleveland because no jobs here. Colleges aren't worth much of anything, You can read the books easier and learn when you can from these schools. So of course, you ended up coming home with my dad that one time, and after I finished up my finals in summer 2, I said, "Dad, I'm getting out of college. I'm joining the Army." And so he's overjoyed about that. And less than a year after that, I'm in Germany. And of course, you get over to Germany, there's a whole different set of rules to live out there. Because this is interesting, all right? Now, you notice how in America, our red lights, they just go straight from red, ping, down to green. But not in Germany. Germany's great for drag races because they go red, yellow, then green. So everybody got hit was going to ask. And so you learn a lot of other techniques that the military people are going to be using, such as when you're in a rush, sometimes they will you get a solid line of traffic, 2 or 3 lanes, and you're in there in your Cup V, your this big K5 Chevy Blazer, and you've got to get somewhere. And typically nobody's going to let you into the traffic. So when you do this, there's a technique called bogarting, where you just put the nose of your vehicle right in between the front bumper of somebody's car and the back bumper. It's like, "Okay, pal, hey pal, you might as well just stop right there and me slide in." So that's what they do, and that's how we got to work out there. That's one of the many, many things you learn. There was also quite a number of other things you also learn, but they're not exactly spoken about in polite society. But we learned quite a number of other techniques out there, and then of course what happened, it was interesting because I was always accustomed to driving with a stick shift. So a lot of the Army vehicles, of course, were automatics. It took me a while to figure that out because instinct always had me going like this. Well, of course, some years after I got out of the Army, I'd gone to college, I'd gone to grad school, and I got the job where I am now, and I bought my 1994 Pontiac Firebird 4 with a V8. Those of you who have seen my Facebook page, you're used to seeing her all the time. That's Leela Blackfire Delaney. She hyphenates. That machine has been able to stick with a dirt poor entrepreneur like me for 25 years. There are very few women in America that could live with a dirt poor entrepreneur like me for that long as that machine could. But yeah, she's done a great job. Something else is interesting is I remember when I was 16, there were plenty of people wondering, "Oh damn, Ed Delaney's going to be driving his dad's 280Z. Oh damn," and they were very concerned about that. But it's kind of interesting now because I live near what's colloquially called a dropout factory. That's a school where a lot of kids keep dropping out all the time, and they keep raising the homeowners' taxes in order to keep little bastards in school. No, that's not going to keep little bastards in school. If they want to drop out of school, send them over to Eastern Europe to clean up landmines. That'll scare them straight. That'll get them back into school. The problem is a lot of these kids, they're turning 16 now. And you've heard about how some of these kids are. Yeah. I mean, you watch them try to learn how to drive. I'm like, kid, no, you don't multitask with a motor vehicle. No. And where did they learn how to do this? Because the kids have watched their parents do this. Their kids have watched their parents drive the motor vehicle, play with the radio, and also put on their makeup and also play with the cell phone. Yeah, so now the kids are trying to do the same thing. And every now and then you hear some tailgate crumple, tear the hell out of somebody's car because they were looking at everything else. Boom! And they hit the car in front of them, looking everywhere else except right where they're supposed to be. And every now and then, here I am stupidly trying to sleep because I'm a night worker. I work double shifts through the night, so I stupidly try to sleep days in one of the loudest neighborhoods west of Aleppo, Syria. And every now and then, if you're not woken up by a loud parent or a loud screaming kid, or the ice cream truck going hello and making you up that way, or you're working with the Department of Works, then you're woken up by boom, some kid banging a car into something. And you're thinking, yeah, okay, my tax dollars at work. How bad can this get? Now, I see a lot of you out there looking a little perplexed over the last moment or so, wondering, where is Ed going with all of this? Why is he telling us about these kids turning 16 in his neighborhood? The reason I'm telling about, relating to you, my experiences watching the young ones drive is, soon enough, it's going to happen to you. Yes, some of you. Hopefully on purpose, maybe by mistake, you're going to become parents.
Oh no!
Yes, and I'm telling you, they grow up so quick. There's no lie to that. I mean, it's like, one day the kid's sitting there with a load in their pants, and the next day they're riding their tricycle, and the next day they're on the bike, and the next day, Dad, man, I need the car, man. We gotta go to the shop, pick up some road beers, and we're out of here, man. And you're suddenly sitting there. Oh no, it's true. Everything he said, yes, it's true. Then shall you realize the horror. It can happen to you. Well, that's my show for tonight. Hope you all had a good time. Good night.
You could tell fascist white male thing! How dare you force responsibility on me? This is a safe space! You can't say that! You can't say that!
You signed a release from liability. You can't sue either.
This is a safe space! You can't talk reality in here!
I sees it every time. See, that's the problem Ed Delaney has, you see. He's just too real for the times he lives in, you know what I mean? He's literally the ugly truth, you know what I mean? Sucks to be him, huh?